Okay there, hello. A few seconds before. I hope you can hear me today. Oh, I'm seeing myself on another camera. 1 second. Let me get that fixed, otherwise I'm gonna get crazy. Right. Hope you can see me, hope you can hear me. Today I'm alone. So I am on a losing position, so bear with me. It's gonna take a little bit of time for me to go through everything. This means a chat and some questions. So welcome to our VIII AMA. I just needed to do it this week. I needed to do it as next week I'm again away. In the UK we are going for Salute. So I'll be there. If you're there, say hello to us, to our team. That'll be great. And we just came back from Adepticon, by the way. So it was just I'm still feeling a jet lag, a little bit of jet lag-ish. That's funny, you're gonna get used to it, to that one after 3-4 days in States, and you come back here and you have to reverse it, everything back to normal, which is not an easy job for 40 plus years old. All right, let's gonna go through things. Obviously today is normal AMA. What does it mean normal? It means like we're gonna covering several projects. I do a few things to show you. Like let's say this one, the big boy. That's Leviathan from Port Heaven, or Hydra as well. Actually 9-headed Hydra. I got also 5-headed Hydra, so we're gonna go through that just in a sec. And as always, these are the projects. You may ask any questions if you want about. I do have slides ready for some of the Ask Me Anything, so we're gonna go through them too. I just want to check what we have here in the comment board. That's interesting, we can talk about that one. So it has been circling online that many retailers simply can't risk stocking StarCraft due to really bad profit margins comparing to other games. Is this been addressed? First of all, it has been addressed. Secondly, it wasn't that bad that you may think it was. That is only for effective for like USA market. So a few things. One, Archon products in general, when we sell any products to retail, they always have very, very good margin, and then in the 60s even for things like our own Archon products. So I'm guessing many retailers expected exactly the same, which for the product which is IP product is completely impossible to do that. So how we structure everything, we structure around being very close to Games Workshop if you order normally. So that was around about 35%. 35% there. Obviously, for many retailers, expectations was to be much more closer to Games Workshop. So Games Workshop is 45. We have done lots of changes to that program. We have just a couple of weeks ago, before we went to USA, we announced a new program. So this means we have increased the margins for North America. Which they should be now fully aligned with Games Workshop offer. So that's that. Now, I think the expectation was, it's Archon, so it's going to be probably 60, maybe 80, maybe 99%, why not? At the end of the day, they don't have to, or whatever. No, that wasn't the case. And you have to bear in mind, this is also the IP product, so we cannot go anyway crazy in terms of the thingy. But we have changed this one. We have aligned everything with what the competition is doing. So if any of retailer is watching us, please ask your distributor about this, about the new program, about the new percentages. You should be surprised that this is what we did. Right. So this question also about the PDF rules for StarCraft. We did small amounts announcement that they should be done within the next couple of weeks. So second week in the April. Not this one, but in 2 weeks' time, before we start shipping, we should have the rules available as well in PDF. But at this moment, you have to go through the app in order to actually read it. It is possible to outline a little closer the Immortal. I mean, no, I won't tell you nothing about the Immortal at this time. I can only tell you it's actually coming. So with those things, we're going to be taking rules as we have now, tested internally through the external beta testers, and then probably also a little bit of what's the name? Little bit of the open beta as well testers, because we want to make sure that everybody knows what they're going to buy, kind of in terms of rules. So this is you will find out soon about the rules and how everything plays for these units. If you want to write any questions about the rules, I mean, don't do that today, because today is just pure AMA. I'm alone as well, so a little bit difficult to actually answer anything, because I want to go through all the questions we have for other projects. But the best place to go is Discord, our Discord channel. We have loads of people there who asking questions, and also lots of people who can provide you with the answers right away. Pre-order shipping, and this is just in my general statement about the shipping of all of our projects. So for StarCraft, we're finishing on 17th, and once the 17th is finished, we're going to move to shipping. Obviously, and this is like normal with shipping of physical product. That doesn't mean we're going to process every single order straight away at the get-go at the same day on 18th. It takes time, and most of the cases to reach the parcels globally all over the place, like, you know, to Australia, USA, other countries or whatever, it might take even up to 6 weeks, because that's what it is, even a little bit longer. In some of the cases, depending how we're going to be shipping. And how we're going to be shipping? Well, at the moment, as you might know, it's a global shithole, I would say. It's what's going on globally is a crazy situation, and especially with ships, with, you know, with planes, like, you know, Europe at the moment is a very bad position, because we have apparently we're running out of jet engine fuel, and we're running out of fuel for ships, and I think this is too much talks about that, and realistically what they do, they talk about those things just to increase prices, and that's what it is. But yeah, we will see closer to pre-order date. We will inform you exactly how we're going to be shipping and how you're going to get it, and when potentially you're going to get pre-orders. So stay tuned on those things. I hope everything will be stabilized by that time. I mean, we have 2 weeks, and some big politicians promising that everything will be sorted out within the next couple of weeks. You know, I can just talk about those things which going on globally. I mean, in general, you should know that it only benefits every situation, like a tariffs or you know, the situation now with oil. What's not? It's only benefits to big companies, because they can simply find the solution, very easy solution. For the small companies, like in USA, in Europe, everybody else, it just suffer. They do suffer because we don't have like possibility like other companies to move the product easily. We have to rely on the third-party companies like the others, but we don't have like warehousing, and we have to avoid as much as possible tariffs, make sure that, not avoid, but pay them somehow and whatever, but we want our customers to actually pay for the tariffs, what's not. So we have to basically use third parties and so on. So our supply chain is to the... But normally in the past, what we did, we didn't have any third-party companies to, you know, to take our products and ship within USA. Since the tariffs, we need actually use 3PL companies, so-called. So we have to ship product to them, and they have to distribute the product within the United States. Why? Because we don't want you to pay tariffs, so we will pay those things, no problem. Well, there is a problem, but no problem. But in order to do that, we have to have three-party companies within USA to distribute the products. So all of a sudden, everything is just extended for another 2 weeks or 3 weeks of shipping. So hello in a world when the globalization is ending. So yeah. Afternoon, great work. This game is awesome. The models are option. The online army builder is awesome. The online rules are convenient. Thanks for the hard work. Thank you very much. Thanks. I think I just came back from Adepticon, by the way, so lots of people, hello to anyone who actually was there and say to us hello, and we have loads of feedbacks over there. Loads. Obviously, I'm very, very positive about the rules and very positive about everything with the game, especially miniatures, which I'm very happy about. There was 2 things I was a little bit worried. I was a little bit worried about the clear plastic, how the clear plastic will be received by Tabletop Miniatures gamers, and it was actually very good. So it's amazing. So thank you. Thank you for visiting. Thank you for trying out the game, and so on. Are all StarCraft pre-orders being held to ship out by the end of Q2? Yes. I mean, definitely that's the plan. Unless we won't be able, like, you know, there won't be no ships, there won't be no planes to carry stock over because they have no fuel, they won't have fuel, which I don't think it will happen. I mean, something needs to change like urgently, otherwise we're all gonna be in trouble, like globally in trouble. But hey, recession apparently is good for millionaires and billionaires. The recession is definitely good, not for us guys. So we're on the same boat. How are we doing towards the 75,000 cap? In general, we are a lot. I'm not gonna be talking really like about the in general in the closed numbers. I can tell you that individual boxes, if you count individual boxes, they are at this stage 120, 130,000 of individual boxes to make. Like this is talking about, you know, just not only to starter play boxes, but in general all the boxes. So it's quite a lot. It's a big project, really big project. So and that's the minimum because this is just business to customers. Then is a portion as well of the business to business, which we still collecting data, and I will know more before the 17th. Yeah, do me a favor, if you ask any questions about the rules, please join our Discord. That's going to be best one because I won't be able to, unless somebody else here on our chat will be able to answer those questions for me. Yeah, I was asking my team to get me boxes for Master of Orion to do they said next AMA, so I will do that next AMA. There was one sprue missing, so we will do that. I will do that next AMA. Okay. Some questions. So I think the question from Discord, and that one is about Wave 11. Wave 11 was announced in February 2026. It's still, it is not in retail. It is. I don't know why you say it's not in retail. And this is a screenshot from our store, so it's available in our store, and it's definitely available as well in the retail. The Wave 12 is coming. Sneak peek? Next time I'll do some sneak peek. But it's coming not this quarter, not this quarter, but following quarter. We needed to push one. We needed one quarter window for the releases. But 11 is there. 12 is coming. Question about Duskhollow. I think why are the featured miniatures 25mm on a crowdfunding page? No, this is not correct. They are not 25mm. I think you got confused with this. So it says 25mm, but this is diameter. It's a base diameter for the miniature. So the base diameter is 25. All the miniatures from after Deus Lair, I think starting from Deus Lair were 32mm, and we're going to stay to that scale. StarCraft, will StarCraft feature at some point generic characters that are not named heroes? I think if we're going to be featuring anything, they're all going to be named characters. We're not going to do anything else which is not named characters. And actually, if you go through the list of the characters, there's loads of them, hundreds of them, 100 names you can use for characters. So there's no need of creating some like generic one if you have, you know, access to so many great names and characters to pick from. Port Heaven, will shipping started, or are the pledges coming from the warehouses in the States or from Poland? So the same story is for any type of shipping we're going to be doing. For the United States, we have to use third-party shipping. So we are going to shipping to one of our distributors, and that distributor will be shipping out it locally. Is it started? Packing started, yes. Shipping not yet, because we have to create a bulk shipment for United States and then get them distributed across. StarCraft is all the different card sizes and are final. Can we let us know the sizes? I mean, the card size are final. We're not going to be changing the card sizes, what's not. It's just final. There is one mistake we found, actually two mistakes we find on the cards after we had some stock available at the Adepticon. And for those of you who got that cards, I will let know. There's going to be full update about this one probably next week once we fix it, but we're going to be sending our replacement cards for that, as we always do. With replacement sprues for caves, this is the same story. So this is only related to USA when it comes for replacement, because replacement used to be processed like this. We used to pack them in Poland and send them through Pocztex, which then delivered within the United States from USPS. So that was in the past, and there was no problems with shipping. There was no problem with tariffs because it was just going through. Now with the tariffs and also with USPS cancel any orders, and Pocztex unable even send through Pocztex because Pocztex decided not to take any parcels to the United States. This is our process. We have to send from Poland using like UPS or what's not, some big companies. We have to create a bulk shipping to 3PL, and then they can distribute within. So this is like cost of 30 USD per parcel, but it takes time. But there is no payment, any type of payment like additional tariffs or other costs. So there's no tariffs and there is no shipping cost, additional shipping cost to as a customers. It takes time because we have to create this bulk shipping. So it used to be like you get your replacement sprues within just few days, but now it's going to take a few months. I mean, that's what it is now. There's no any other option to solve this problem, but have this long chain of getting product from here, shipping to USA, getting all the paperwork done, get them to 3PL, and then 3PL ship them around the USA in a bulk. It is what it is. Is it going to change? It might change in the future with us getting like setting up a distribution center in the United States, like our own distribution center in the United States. Is it financially viable at the moment? No, it's not. Is a business sense to actually do that at the moment? No, it's not. But I don't know. I'm looking for solutions, guys. We're looking for solutions. It's just like at this moment, it's just like nothing basically. We're finding I'm not finding any solution except we're gonna have to pour a lot of money into fixing things, which was generated by some billionaires to make more money for themselves. The next one, StarCraft. I asked this on YouTube. Also, okay, what was the question? Oh yeah, so the co-op mode is easy and it's the best thing that happened into RTS. I will agree totally, yes. I mean, the co-op mode in StarCraft is amazing stuff. So how we consider doing anything like that? I mean, one of the points when we did quite open rules for StarCraft. I mean, I always keep saying this is like a sandboxing rules, which means community can create whatever they want. So if you go our level app, in the future, even now, there's lots of missions created by the community. Some of them are very, very close and oriented around anything which is like co-op missions or what's not. So community definitely is going to be able to create more content for this game than we can do it. Are we going to be doing anything like that? Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future to create some or use some type of missions or something like that from co-op. What's next one? Do we get any tease on Duskhollow? Okay, so Duskhollow project at this moment, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do. Okay, so there is no oil on the market, as you might know. I mean, if you don't know, you live under a rock. Because there is no oil on the market at this stage to get any plastic, we cannot get any plastic. Basically. However, we're sometimes very lucky, right? So our company is built on skill and luck, which is 99% of luck and 1% of skill. But a few months ago, when actually when the plastic was actually quite cheap, well, comparing to last year's, I decided to order a lot of it. So I decided to order almost 240 tons of plastic, which should be enough for us for about 8 months of production. I just needed like stock up a massive amount of plastic, and that's what we did. That's what we did with distributor. Now, for how long it's going to last at the moment, with StarCraft and all the things we have to manufacture towards the end of the year, we have enough plastic. I don't have to buy no plastic till probably September, maybe even pushing to October. So we fully covered with plastic until October, right? That doesn't mean we can just, jump and start, putting all the stuff. So I need to make sure I will have at least some idea about what the price of plastic will be before we start the Duskhollow campaign, because Duskhollow campaign is basically this. So for those of you who might not know what Duskhollow is basically one of our lovely Dungeons and Lasers campaigns, and that's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, so it's a terrain basically. So you get those sets of terrain for your campaigns, for even wargaming sets. But this is extremely heavy. It's extreme comparing to any type of miniatures or anything else. This weighs twice more, or even 3 times more than normal miniatures, right? So like, if you're comparing this one and that one, weight to weight. So I don't know what to do now, because I will have to first, what I need to do, I need to get some information from the supplier. What's the price of plastic will be, let's say, in a 6-month time, and then based on that one, or even 8-month time. But they don't want to give us. They said there is no plastic at all. Forget about the plastic. Great. So I need to wait for them to provide some information before we're going before we're gonna go and put some price and put some numbers on Duskhollow. Once we get it, we'll know for how much we can charge. So effectively, I think for Duskhollow, this is gonna be one of those campaigns when we're gonna have to say we cannot give you that much away for free, basically because the weight of the plastic, because everything around it. So probably don't expect a massive. Obviously, expect some great deals, but not massive great deals. Like as always, as with the previous campaigns. That's what it is. I would call it shrinkfaction or inflation or whatever I would call them. But basically, we have to find some solution for that, unless I get some info, and then yeah. Next one. So there was a question. I said there was option to going through Archon Studio pre-orders going to be paid with stretch pay StarCraft miniatures game. There is some option on our page. I just think it's just limited. It's called Klatra, and it's limited only to German market, I believe. I didn't ask and then follow up this question with my team because somebody else is dealing with the online store. Let me just get some more information about it, and I will let you. In the next update, I will let you know exactly whether it works or not, and for which of the countries. Maybe we can extend that one for other countries. I mean, that would be great. Yeah. Okay. How do you rate Adepticon 2026? Sales, feedback, community, interest, your impression? So, Adepticon of 2026, absolutely amazing show. Obviously, it's the largest show for miniatures games. So, seeing so many fans of tabletop miniatures games is amazing. Always you get always this injection of strength to carry on doing what you do. Sales. So we had some. I told you we have like 500 pieces to sell, and that was just purely for marketing purposes, really, to have something to sell. I mean, you cannot not to have anything for sale, especially such a big game on Adepticon. So we had it. We sold out in 2 days. So basically, the show was 4 days. So the starter boxes and 2-player starter boxes and Protoss boxes, they were sold out in 2 days. I wasn't expecting this, to be honest. We were expecting at least to carry on across 5 days. So that's that. Impression, amazing. Community interest, huge one. I think we stole that show because almost everybody was talking about StarCraft at Adepticon, and we had lots of YouTubers coming over, recording, and loads of people, absolutely loads of people asking many, many questions and about the future of the game and how everything else is going to work out for this game. What's the release plan? What's the release schedule? And how many years we're going to be supporting this, and so on and so on. So I had quite a lot of things to answer. Usually I just try to point people just to watch the Ask Me Anything or even previous live stream, because we did that. We explained this one twice, but I think there's not enough information yet about the future of this game. So now we're going to have to work with the larger YouTubers to help us out to spread that news and information about the future of the game. In general, impression, amazing. I mean, just imagine I was just walking around just to seeing what other people doing and what other companies, and just seeing friends and other guys from other companies, and I've been stopped by many guys, many people, and saying like, this game is amazing, thank you for that, I played during beta and I love it so much, and so on. This is huge one, right? This is huge one when somebody just approach you. I just want to say thank you for what you guys done to the game, and thank you for bringing this amazing IP to the tabletop and so on. Yeah, great. Absolutely great. Yeah. As a relative newcomer to the tabletop gaming, I'm also excited to not only play this game but introduce my girlfriend to the StarCraft universe without having to play at 500 RPM Superstock to see the rules, miniatures, and everything else. Yeah, thank you very much for that. Yeah, and that's the other one actually. We've seen loads of I think about 25% of people who ask any type of questions online, and even like through emails to us about the game itself, they never touch any miniatures. That's going to be for the first time they're going to be touching any type of miniatures, which is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I don't think we have. Maybe Heroes did that. Maybe Heroes did that to the board game industry a little bit. Like, we pull a lot of people from tabletop, from video game into a board game. But this one is a second project when we had so many people asking about this, what it is, what's going on here, how you play, and how to assemble miniatures and so on. And this is also coming from YouTubers. So when we had the YouTubers on our stand, many of them say that I'm going to be carrying on videos about StarCraft because there's so many new people on my channel which never heard about tabletop miniatures games, and they're asking those questions under the videos. Just make some video how to even paint it, how to basically paint it, how to assemble miniatures, and so on. So yeah, that's cool. Where is Shimon? Shimon is downstairs playing board game. That's true. No, he messaged me that he actually, because I came back from Adepticon and my marketing team was asking question about should we do the AMA. I said yeah, because it's been overdue for a few weeks now, so let's do that. And I asked Shimon and he said, well, look, I got a plan. So his plan was actually downstairs playing a board game. So sorry for that. Right. We working. A question was about the have there been enough StarCraft orders in Canada to create shipping hub? Yes, but now we're looking for a company to give us proper quote. Now the same story here. We asked for the internal shipping, and they said no, we don't have it because the UPS said, hold on, we don't know how much to charge you internally, domestically. So we're like, oh, we have to wait. So we're going to wait for a few minutes now, for a couple of weeks probably to get that data. But as soon as we have it, we'll let you know. Do you have any photos of the next wave units for StarCraft game, like Siege Tank perhaps? I've got it over there. But I'm not going to be showing, unfortunately, because this is my marketing team to do it at the right time. So, yeah. How pre-orders going on StarCraft? They're going amazing. They're going really, really amazing. So, and that's including this is including business to customers and as well as the online orders. So guys, if you want to do any cooperation with us, I think there's email you can send to our marketing, and our marketing will connect you with me, or you're going to be connected with anybody else within the company. So for that. Okay, cool. Any questions? So the question was about the Heroes Might and Magic 3 game found question. I composed my pledge of only add-ons, tower. Okay. Was that okay? Will I receive my pledge? Oh yeah, you're gonna get it. That's for sure. I mean, depending, it's gonna be wave number 1 or wave number 2. You should be informed about that one, which wave it is, but definitely yes. So there was no mandatory of, getting a pledge. You can just make, combine any things you wanted. Is Archon going to have a booth on PyRCon? Any special attractions? I think yes, we should have a booth at PyRCon. Any special attractions? I don't know. It's gonna be up to my team to actually do some funky stuff. Maybe some announcement. I think maybe some announcement. Is there an option to fly to Poland to collect the product? I don't think so. It's just through the what's the name? Accounting stuff. So I think because you probably live abroad, so to ship abroad we have to claim 0 VAT and pay that VAT in your country. So in order to do that, I mean, we claim them 0 VAT in Poland, and we claim, like in France, for instance, 20 or other countries, and we have to pay VAT on the other country. But our Polish government, as a proof of that, actually, I can claim 0 VAT in Poland. They want to see the shipping address or shipping thingy or export documents. So that's how it works. So yes, we plan to have a small amount of the salute. I know guys, I know how does it sound like, oh yeah guys, you jumping on cash, whatever. No, we classify this one really as a hype building. So really like a hype building. What we noticed is, like, when we did like our first beta test, when we sent out those 60 copies or 80 copies, when people will start posting miniatures, pictures, and painted miniatures, it actually boosted quite a lot. So we will have that one. Obviously, there won't be no discounts whatsoever. It's just pure MSRP. So for those of you who place order online, you have a massive and great deal. For those of them who are gonna be at the salute, it's not gonna be that, and it's gonna be small quantities. By the way, I think we have 100 boxes only for 2-player starter boxes, no more than that. We did have a chat about this with our distribution in the UK, and they said, yeah, it's actually quite cool because they can see then, more people are gonna be interested in actually going into this game. Is the number of pre-orders confidential? Can we find out how many have you sold? I mean, it is confidential, but I can tell you right now, we will have at the end of the pre-orders around about 50,000 players. So actually 60,000 players. So yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of people at the get-go for the tabletop miniatures game. Cool. Let me check. There's lots of questions, by the way. So, can we expect the manual to be available in other languages version? This is for the Master of Orion. Yes, my team told me this is second week of April when all the manual was going to be available, and just follow the updates on there. Question about Duskhollow. We will see cool sets that have multiple uses, only decent, less obvious gothic details. Yeah, there is loads of different cool sets. But just going back to this, are we going to be showing you all? I don't think so. I think we're going to have to cut 50% of what we plan to do, unless I'm going to get prices for the plastic. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why we stop any marketing for Duskhollow. Just to, we need to have some understanding where we are, and I'm not going to be selling you something which then obviously it's going to cause a lot of issues to the business. So we need to have numbers first. I mean, I'm not going to be, that's quite obvious. I mean, we've been on the market so many years, and we are not on the market so many years just because we're cowboys and we do things like, let's go and jump and shoot and sell it and then work out later on where we're going to be making it and how much it's going to cost. No, we actually spend a lot of time analyzing how much is going to cost for manufacturing, how much is going to cost the shipping, and what's the maximum amount we can afford in terms of, you know, discounts and other things. That's how we work out. And then once we have that one solidified and we have all the information from supply of the material, from shipping companies, and so on, and then we, on top of all those costs, we add like 15% just in case, then we know for how much and how much content we can add it in. At the moment, at this stage, for every single project, which is heavy project, which is like, you know, terrain project, is a huge question mark. Am I going to get the material? If yes, how much is going to cost? And then shipping, obviously, because the petrol or fuel or gas, whatever I call it, from different countries, from different places over the world, the price is going like sky high at the moment. This means the shipping, everything you ship, not only even flight. I mean, even if you want to ship now with flight, it just costs you twice more than it used to. So, like a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, this is what's happened when you mess with something you shouldn't mess with. It's called FAFO, no? Okay. Oh, that's a good question, actually, about the Heroes, the tabletop game. Yeah, it's still in the process of developing. I think we're going back to miniatures at the moment. So once we have more miniatures to show, we did show you a lot of miniatures anyway, but I think we have 3 starter boxes of miniatures done. So once we have more miniatures, we will show you those things. And then obviously you're gonna get the right date for the release. And the next question, the second part of the question was, with the pre-orders now available, will you regular AMA? Okay, I mean, what I want to do in terms of AMA, I want to do more regular AMA, but we still have to do like a couple of them which are going to be only dedicated to StarCraft. And then in the future, obviously, we're also going to be doing some dedicated just to StarCraft. The main reason is this is the biggest projects in the company, and we have loads to show you, and in most of the cases it's going to take more than an hour to discuss some things for StarCraft. So I think that's the reasons why I want to have a fully dedicated to StarCraft as well in the future. Okay, I think next one is going to be only about the StarCraft, because we're getting close to the finishing of the pre-orders, so then we just have to, you know, have that one. Thank you. I'm also hype about this game that I simply refresh YouTube several times a day, checking any new StarCraft videos out. There's some more videos coming out, by the way, so interesting. So we have a few guys from YouTube channels, and they show us the numbers and numbers, this means clicks and, you know, video watched and so on. And for some of the channels, our videos are taking over even other big game videos content. So it seems to be like there is loads of interest, even like online, even on YouTube, on that topic, on the topic of this game, which is great. The other things which I didn't mention is like the rules. I haven't heard anyone complaining about any rules for this game, which is kind of amazing. I think we did something cool, and yeah. Let's check more questions. Master of Orion, the crowdfunding campaign said it was made in Poland. When did you decide to move some paper production to another country, and why? Sure, it's about the box complexity. So you probably have seen that box with a sockets in there. It's extremely complex box to manufacture. So initially we wanted to make those boxes internally, and then we find out we're not going to be able to do that in the quantities we want. And then we went out to fish for any manufacturer in Poland, and finally we couldn't find any manufacturer in Poland, so we have to go external just for the box manufacturing itself. But entire content, everything else, it's just made here. So you have miniatures there, you have some paper content in there, and so on, so on, so on. But that's what it is sometimes when you want to go a little bit, you know, push the envelope with the game you want to create it, and all of a sudden you just end up, oh, okay, we cannot make it actually, so we have to go and find somebody else with much better expertise on boxes manufacturing just to deliver what we promised we're going to deliver. StarCraft, don't you think releasing a single unit per army every other month is not enough to keep momentum? Considering that there won't be a lot of units to choose from in the beginning. Yes and no. Look, it's also, I mean, everybody's on a tight budget, right? I think everybody's on a tight budget. The biggest risk is here, if we all of a sudden going to decide like release like 40 some other games every month, you know, $150, $150, at some point nobody's going to be able to catch up with that. So we have to be careful with that, really. The game is, in my opinion, in very good spot in terms of financially, especially for if you want to start the game like a brand new fresh game without having a big risk that you find somebody to play. That's the one thing. So it's a really good spot. Then we want to make sure that every single release is properly planned out and probably tested out, so it needs to be balanced. We're not interested in releasing something you're just gonna, you know, have to buy it because this is pay to win, and there is no other option to not to buy or put on the table. So that's not our goal. Our goal is to basically, okay, this is the game, enjoy it for a couple of months. We're gonna give you one more unit. You know, and jump in, get that new unit, and so on, so on, so on. If we start listing, I mean, many of, when we did kind of our survey on tabletop miniature game, what we find out, many people play tabletop miniatures twice, maybe a month. So then when you line out how many different rosters or army lists you can create it with a single army with 5-6 different units, you will find out you can create about 4 different armies. Right? I'm not talking about you know, I can play the same army with different mission, with different objectives. Obviously, this is a completely different game. Replayability in this game is amazing. So, you know, we can give you content, small content every 4 weeks, every 5 weeks, and it's still gonna be more than enough for you to enjoy the game, and so on. So, but yeah, it's not about the jumping on, you know, giving you tons of stuff, and then, you know, you won't keep up with, you know, some of the people won't have even time to, you know, assemble the miniatures. What about playing the game? Okay, so we have to be cautious with that. So that's the path we're going to choose. Slowly and no rush, and so on, so on, so on. And then obviously, only this release period is a little bit messy. But once we finish with this release pre-order period, we shipped everything out. Then we need to start doing this properly in terms of, you know, informing distributors what's going on, informing the stores what's going on. We have to create a organized play package, so that is coming. We have to. So when I say package, means not only rules, it also means like additional content for organized players. Like you can get some, you know, a tournament rewards and things like that. Then on top of that, we have to create a demo pack for distributor, for stores, just for them to have something to start this game within their community. Okay, so there's lots of things we have to do, and we don't want to rush. And at the end of the day, it won't be any good one if all of a sudden the new store wants to buy the product and there is like 60 SKUs. You know what I mean? They won't know what to buy. So it's easier for us to actually get the store to say, okay, this is only 5 SKUs. The next week, the next month, SKU, this is just basically the product, right? So like a 1 box, 2 box, whatever. And the next month, another 3 months, 3 ones gonna be available. And then in 3 months' time, again, another 3 boxes gonna be available. So for them, it's much easier to actually get this content through the community. It's really complicated, like, I'm maybe being too honest, but that's what it is. StarCraft, when you release the, when will the retail boxes release? I want to play Terran, but have no one to split the founders box with. It's coming with the next wave. So next wave, that's going to be only available through stores. So next wave, this means once we finish this pre-order, we shipped out everything, we're going to be announcing new wave and then shipping new wave out. Okay. I did already mention about the Canadian shipping distribution, so stay tuned on that one. We're working on that program for you guys. So as soon as we know, we will let you know. Can you share some details on the shipping timeline? I did mention. I did mention this one. So once we finish pre-orders, I mean the packing is happening right now. So the boxes are being packed. Everything is being basically we building the stock just to make sure then we can just start processing parcels and start shipping the parcels out. The shipping process is always gonna take some time. By the way, it's not gonna be like the next day. Once 17 is finished, I'm gonna see my tracking number. For many of you, yes, but some of you it's gonna take some time because we have to still get the bulk parcels shipped to United States, for instance, and then get the 3PL company to spread it around. So that might take a few weeks. So, but you guys gonna know exactly. We will let you know exactly what's going on with your parcel and what's happening, how we're processing it. Okay. Okay. I'll just have to make sure that you will know, and you will know. I'll get my team engaged with that one. We're not the best in terms of communication, but this time around we have to be. And we have several ways of communicating with you. So it's either email, Discord, and then we have our lovely app. And in that app, you're also going to find information about the shipping. So, but give us time and give us a little bit of patience. Will we see more StarCraft video on Archon on Archon YouTube? Maybe we will see. Definitely in the future, yes, and definitely about the painting. Do you plan to translating into Korean? Yes, there is a plan. I think my team is working with somebody on that one already, with some of the distributors in Korea. We have to. Can you tell me more about the Master of the Universe promo models? They appear in the store for a while and unfortunately ordered them. But I have the feeling it was a mistake. So the Motu promo models, the way it works, we have a program, and this is started back in the COVID era. So we used to have like miniatures we had only for trade shows, just to engage people in the trade shows as well. Then because of so many people couldn't go for the trade shows, we decided to do something like this. When we are away for trade show, we make those models available also to buy online. This is also to tackle this problem with scalpers, right? Scalpers. So and when you see them popping up, this means we are at the trade show somewhere in the world, and then they might be disappearing from the store, and then we're gonna bring them back. And like next week, we're going to Salute, and it's gonna be one day when we have the Salute, so they're gonna be going back on our store again. This has been working very well because there's lots of people who are upset they couldn't go for trade show. They always wanted those miniatures, and what you won't find with us, never ever, is that we're not gonna be making promo miniatures that will disappear completely. Okay, you're always gonna have options to buy them either during trade show time or somewhere else, but we're not doing this type of planned obsolescence. I've been collecting miniatures as well, and for me this is bad. If I cannot, I'm also a collector, so if I cannot buy something, doesn't matter, doesn't have to be straight away. I don't have the money to buy it straight away, but if you tell me in a 2-month time it's gonna be there's a miniature available, then great, I will wait, and so on. But we're gonna be sticking to this rule forever in this company. Well, maybe some other CEO will change this, but I'm not gonna be changing this one. So every single miniature which we called like a special event miniature, it's gonna be always available. So like Zeratul, for instance, right? So don't go, guys, don't buy the Zeratul for $100 or $150 on eBay. That's ridiculous. You can buy for 35 and it's worth 35 basically. So, but it might be like 3, 4, 5 times a year when you're going to be able to buy online from our store, but don't go and crazy. Let's check. Heroes Might and Magic 3, can you say anything about what exactly happened with QML in United States. I believe the update came out today, and also I've got update from Michał. So the QML had to make some stock take and check some inconsistencies. They are now ready to ship the last batch of orders. The way how it works, for the QML in United States, the product was shipped from China. So the Heroes Might and Magic board game was made in China. European portion was shipped to our warehouse, and then to Green Logistics. I'm gonna be talking about them just in a minute. And then the other portion was shipped directly to USA to QML, and the QML distributing. And apparently, what was shipped from China to QML, according to documentation, wasn't correct, wasn't right. So they needed to make some stock take dish to check what exactly is left and whether this is correct to the paperwork. And now they're going to continue. But as far as I know, USA is shipped within 90%. So yeah. If your address change, if you have changed your address, shipping address, please go to our, what's the name? Our customer service. Just send them an email, say, look, my address has changed, please update my address. If you cancel your order, and especially if you're not from USA, and if you purchase in USD, what we find out, some people wanted to get a refund because they decided to order maybe some other packages, whatever. And my team, I don't know why, my team completely forgot to tell them, if you place order on one day, let's say $100, and then on second day, and we refund that $100 to your account, and you pay in the currencies, because you base in Europe, let's say you have in euro, your bank will change that, will convert your money into your currency at the current currency state. You know what I mean? So you might end up with actually having more than $100 sometimes, or less. And in most of the cases, it's less than $100 because bank needs to also make its money. So please be cautious about that one. If you want to do it, just get through my team. If you want to just change the address, okay? And shipping address is just through my team, so from the customer service. StarCraft, are we going to get more trains? Yes. Yes, coming soon. Orion, which species are the developer's favorite ones, and why? So I asked the team, and that's the one. You can post the video now, and I'm not going to be reading them through, but mine was also Clacon. So, I mean, there's a full story about the Masters of the Universe, by the way. So this project was brought by me because I was desperate to get in this project. It was mine video game back in the day. So back in the day in our neighborhood, there were two video games people played. One was Heroes of Might and Magic 3, and second one was the Master of Orion. I was in the Master of Orion team, so we always argue with the other team which game is better. So yeah, and that's how it happened. Friend of mine, when we announced Heroes of Might and Magic 3, my friend, we didn't have a contact for 20 years. He found my phone, he rang me up, and he said he's gonna kill me for doing Heroes, because back in the day we were just arguing with everybody that this game is better, so Orion is better than Heroes. And yeah. So I promised to him that just give me a couple of years, I'm gonna have a Masters of Orion. I was just fishing for this IP like crazy, and the thing is, it just came to us by sheer accident. So one of the shows, we have amazing person from Wargaming, Pascal, from wargaming.net. He came to us and asked the question, would you be willing to actually work on World of Tanks? And I said, oh, are you from Wargaming? So I said, yeah. I said, look, I sent you maybe 100 emails and nobody came to me, but we would like to take two things from you. One is a World of Tanks, and the second one is Master of Orion. Please give us Master first. So that's what happened. They gave us Master of Orion first. And then, as you might know, we also do World of Tanks, the card game. So yeah, again, as I mentioned, this company is 99% of luck and maybe 1% of skill. Cool. Heroes. I want to address this, guys, because there's lots of things. I mean, I hope some some people from Heroes are watching us. This is from the latest update. Currently they're sitting at 70% of wave 1. I asked my team to get from Green Logistics on statement, because I think this is the last time, and I'm the CEO, I'm going to be saying, and I don't care. I really don't care. This is the last time we're going to be working with Green Logistics on shipping our products out. Because they promise by April, and now we are in 3rd of April, everything will be shipped out for wave 1 for Poland. And it's not. So, yeah. And there are days when they're shipping like 2-3 boxes. There are days they're shipping 500 boxes. So I don't know what's going on over there. Really, I have no. Michał is dealing for communication with them, and the answer we're getting, the answer we're getting from them is like, we're shipping the fastest we can, but you know, that's not the best answer we can get. So Green Logistics is on my list not to go anymore to work with them. That's it. So I need to personally apologize for Green Logistics. As you might know, they're actually shipping for many companies, by the way. So it's not only us. I mean, most of the Polish companies are using Green Logistics because they have massive warehouse and systems. But I don't care anymore. I mean, I'm not going to be taking any responsibility, any pressure from you guys. Okay, I'm okay to take it, but I'm saying I'm not going to be taking any responsibility for some other third-party company, which is basically BS us constantly about the shipping quantities or promising something they totally not delivering. So no, I'm not going to be doing this anymore. I think we're just going to be shipping internally. I mean, just logically thinking about this, if that was shipped from us, from our place, right? I mean, we had no capacity to hold 26 containers, and that's main reasons why we use Green Logistics, because they had a capacity to hold 26 containers of games. That was the main purpose. But we're actually building now extension to our factory, and it's starting next month, and that should give us about capacity for 50 containers. And that's it. From all the projects onwards, I don't care. It needs to be shipped from here. We're going to build the systems for that, and we're going to be shipping. I cannot relay enough it. I'm always angry with third-party companies. They never deliver. Never deliver. They lie. They bloody treat you like they take your money and then just forget about doing services. And they constantly lie and lie and lie. You know, excuses on top of excuses. And then I have to come here and show my face and also, you know, tell you sorry, but it's not the way I want it to be. So no, that's the last time when I actually saying this loud out. Next time I requested statement, like official statement from this company, from their CEO, why the hell haven't met the expectations. So I'm expecting this one, and once we have this letter, I'm definitely gonna be posting for you guys. Because we're losing reputation, and this game is very important to us. You know, we you know, there's 50,000-60,000 players for this game alone, more than that. And then seeing what's going on with shipping at the moment, and they have stock for 4 months. They got the stock before Christmas. They meant to start in January. They postponed everything till mid of February or something, and now they're just running like a headless chicken with those stuff not being out. It's just not. My fuse already broke, so maybe I should take a sip of water. Right. So once we have a statement about what just happened, what's going on, we will post this one for you guys. Cool. I like the name, the StarCast. I really like the name. Yeah, we're also gonna do our portion of the hype soon. I mean, this game deserves that one. I mean, IP deserve, and the game deserve. Come on. So, Duskhollow. Do I have something to show? Oh yeah, for the Duskhollow, there was something which my team just came up with, and if you remember, we were showing you something. I was showing you. Where's the? You remember last time I was showing you the roofs? Oh yeah, I will show the miniatures, by the way. That's the Leviathan. Do I have anything for scale? Do I have anything to scale? Yeah. I cannot show this. I cannot show this miniature. I always did like, yeah. Let me show you something. That's the Marine miniature, and that's the model. And this is Leviathan model. This is for the one of our projects, which is for the Port Heaven. So this is how big it is. It's hollow inside, but it is a RPG miniature. So more than enough. And it's amazing. The detail on it, it's absolutely amazing. So how does it scale to our biggest miniature? This used to be our biggest miniature. Oh, by the way, this is the siege tank base, right? So you can see how big he sits on it. Well, our biggest base. Anyway, this is the our previous biggest miniature. I think this one is also it's the same size, I would say. Yeah. So lovely. So this one is finished now. We did struggle a little bit, to be honest, with manufacturing on that one. There was some issues. So we had a number of issues with this mini, but we finally got it and fixed that one. Let me just turn that one off. Right, that's your Hydra as well. So that's the Hydra for the same project. Just to give you a sense of scale. Actually, why I'm flicking this one? I shouldn't flick this one. Okay, that's better. Right. That's the sense of scale for that model. This is Hydra, and that Hydra's got 5 heads, and then you can assemble with 9 heads, or any other variant. By the way, you don't have to assemble all 9 heads, but you ask for it, and we've made it. So it sits on that size base. I think this is the RPG size base for this monster. So here we go. So these were the last models we needed to do for Port Heaven. So, and they went on like when I was at last week at the Adepticon, a week before. And as for the Duskhollow, I just want to show you this. So the new roofs, by the way. So what you have seen it last time, I only had like a 3D printed with no detail on it. So we decided to, to put some details just to show you what you're going to get it with that project. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Now for those for Duskhollow, there's a plenty done, a loads done. So, but my team does not allow me to show those things, because they think the marketing will do much better if I'm not gonna be teasing you guys. I was so tempting to show you something today without letting them know, but I don't wanna get them angry. So, but yeah. Yeah, guys, for any questions, what's not, like if you have to have some address changes, what's not, please contact the customer service and they will solve the problems. Here on if you just post something here on, people won't gonna see it. So, I mean, not my team, definitely. Anything about the geographics? Yeah, I would be able to share this one with you if I'm not going to do anything. Let me do something like, you know me. Sometimes I do something stupid. Should I do that? No. Okay. I can tell you verbally. Okay. If you just give me 2 seconds. I need to log into the system. Right. So what's the spread? United States is first one, and United States is 47% of orders. Then we have Germany, Australia, France, Canada, United Kingdom, Spain. Poland is very, very high. Germany, Deutschland. I don't know why we have two. I think one of the stores record sales as Germany, and then the other one as a Deutschland. So if you combine this one, it's quite a lot. And then we have Italy, Sweden, Netherlands, and so on. We were Poland twice. I think if we add those things, they're going to be higher than so the Poland actually is quite high on the list. I think this is the reason the Poland is quite high, because we did quite a lot of playtesting in Poland. So, but yeah, that's what it is. And then so you have 47% is USA, and then so how does it stack? How does it look against any other of our projects? It's almost the same. So when we run any Dungeons and Lasers or any other type of product, from 40 between the 45 and 50, it's actually USA market, which is kind of normal because the value spent, I don't know, I don't see here. Maybe I could. Interesting. Oh no, that's per bundles. Okay, so the value spent is actually less than 40% for USA. Interesting. So the orders are more, but the value spent is a little bit less than the rest of the world. Maybe because of conversion. I don't know. I will need to look into this one. But yeah, that's what it is. Am I surprised with the data? No, I'm not totally surprised with the data, by the way. So that data is completely like according to what we expect it to be. Usually that's interesting, because usually depending on the country, you can see different data. I mean, especially like Heroes was a huge one in Europe. Heroes was crazy in Europe, especially in Poland, Czech, France, just because it's a local IP. So your local IP do much better than any other IPs globally. But this one seems to be quite good situated. So it's so its market is very saturated with what we expect it to be for non-IP project, but it's IP projects, but huge one. So that's good. That's actually tells a lot of story about it, because these numbers are actually very good for the future of the game. I will be very worried if we had like oversaturated by one of the regions for the future of the game. This means the game is going to be doing much better in some of the regions, but not very good in other. So yeah, that means a lot. That's a good sign. StarCraft, on what basis do you price the boxes? For example, one Goliath is the same price as 2 Stalkers. Sure. What's the amount of sprues? I think Stalkers is 1 sprue more than 2 Stalkers. So it's never, we never calculate stuff by amount of sprues we add into boxes, because this is not the best way to calculate the product. We'll never calculate the product. Obviously it is from my point of view when I do my engineering stuff. So there's a minimum amount when we are also OEM company, right? So as an OEM company, we charge XYZ for the spruce manufacturing for the companies. I cannot charge less for our products than I charge for OEM, because then there is no point. I would rather put on my machines OEM products instead of our own products. It's as simple as that. So there is also that calculations which needs to be taken in consideration. But then for the models and miniatures, we just have there's lots of calculations in there. So Goliath. It's I think 4 sprues, and each of them is like individual sprues. I'm not sure about the Stalkers whether the same sprues or not. So they might be one of the same sprues being just copied several times, which is much easier because I don't have to pay twice for the tooling. And there's lots of in that calculation, but we try to keep it like easy at the moment for any type of game. So for the tabletop miniatures games, this means like having price structure is to make sure it's good for retailer and it's good for, and that's interesting for you. I don't know if you want to listen to this because it's just basically business rumble, but when you make a game, when you make a product, you have to also think about price of it. And if you're going to structure price a little bit too low, is that 2 things will happen. Number one, people are going to see this one, okay, this price is too low, so the quality needs to be low comparing to other companies. Like they always compare apples to apples, and they see like, oh, this is XYZ, a top-notch product from big company, and that product costs twice less. It will be something wrong with it, or is basically the quality won't be, that's what people think always. I don't know why this is basically something which it's out there. And the other thing is actually interesting for retail and stores. Retail stores are not always interested in cheap product, or the product they need to stock up many to make their margin. So before this project went out live, we also had a discussion with retailers what they think about this type of pricing, what they think about that one, and all of them decided, yeah, it's actually okay pricing, so it's good. It's so on. Yeah, I can give you an example from the past when we did small visit in UK stores, just trying to understanding about what's the best for them. And obviously, because of lack of space, especially in Europe you'll find many small stores. They have to put something on a shelf, and in order to put on the shelf, it needs to make a revenue. So for many stores, putting the product from other company, which they make, I don't know, $100 revenue from a single box, it's much better than having 10 boxes of small things which you have to stock up and keep it on the shelf. It takes your shelf space and so on, and you have to sell 10 of them, so you might not find the 10 customers for it. So it works like that. Would you make any painting guides for the models? Yes, we want to do that. We did one, we did for the Zeratul, I think. We need to make more. I second the question about the Siege Tank Ravager Immortal price range. We haven't got the price yet. I think we don't have the prices yet in the system. So, but it's not going to be expensive. What would you like to see? What do you think? What would be the fair price for a Siege Tank? And I can tell you right now, Siege Tank is 7 spruce. 7. How much would you pay? Yeah. Oh, I can tell you right now, 80 euro is definitely not the price we're going to be charging. It's going to be less than 80 euro, I think. Yeah. Yeah, so you see, you're almost there. I mean, $80, $100, I don't think so. $100 is too much. 60-ish, maybe 75, that's more like it, something like that. 80 euro, definitely not. That's too much for the miniature. So yeah, around those prices. Cool. How many spruce is Balor? Balor is about 6 spruce. And the Balor is now expensive in terms of retail. I think for the retail we got $400 or something like that. It was much cheaper during campaign, obviously, because it was marketing money. So the difference, it was just assigned to marketing because it was just quite good piece for marketing. 7 spruce of what size? A maximum size. This size. Did I announce when the StarCraft pre-orders are planned to ship? I did mention that after 17th we're going to start packing and shipping, so it will start on 17th. Now, whether you're going to receive your parcel within first week, second, or even 6th, 7th week, that's going to be up to where you're located and the shipping companies and everything else. I did mention, I did a little bit around about the shipping at the moment. It's just crazy. What would you do if somebody would actually come to Archon Studio with some crystals and gas, soda stream, like one player did for the full collection books? I mean, you're more than welcome. Let us know at least one day before, and if we're around, we can give you a tour around the factory. You can show you things around. At least not the secret ones, because we are OEM company, so some things we cannot show you because we make products for other companies, and they are much bigger than us, and I don't want anything being leaked out there. Yeah. Is there any plan to sell pre-painted models? No, I don't think so. Not from us. I believe there's lots of painting studios. They do those things. You can order from painting studio painted miniatures, like top-notch painting miniatures. Just going back to this one question, there's two things about the tabletop miniatures games, and the one thing it's not working. Oh, what's going on here? I did put my phone on silence. Sorry for that. I did put my phone on silence, but when my wife is calling me, it's all of a sudden I'm not in silence mode. So she takes priority always. Yeah. In general, yeah. So two things in the tabletop miniatures games. One, you're gonna find models like you had in the games in the past. So you might probably recall X-Wing. So they were plug and play models. You open the box, they were pre-painted for you. You just put them on a stand and play. And the other one is just basically hobby products. And hobby products is always you get them on sprues, you assemble. So you have this hobby aspect in the game. It's not just like plug and play. So yeah, we're always going to be doing just one, which is the hobby products, and we want to be in the hobby business, in the hobby product business. What's the plans for the Heroes of Might and Magic, the board game? I think we did announce like 3 more expansions, did we? I think there was a nice video a couple of weeks ago. So I think it's not the secret that we work on the 3 more expansions, but we decided not to announce anything till we got everything shipped out from wave 1. So till I got what's going on, until the freaking green logistics shipped stuff out, we're not going to be doing anything else. We're not going to be telling you. We don't want to get you angry because of, so we really, lots of things we just pushed out of the way till we sorted out other things behind. You talk about the plastic. Is there any point where you would consider having people ship back the remaining spruce parts to Archon? This we had considered this one, but the problem, the cost of shipping is still a bit too much. There's only one way to work on that one, is to work with the local stores. And I'm thinking about this type of program with the local stores. So the local store will get something from us for free if they're going to be collecting plastic, and then we can get one big box shipped from that store back to us with that spruce. That's only one way this program might work. Just shipping to us, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense because the cost of the shipping will be too high, and so on. So yeah. Hi, I did mention Canadian. We are looking into 3PL. Once I have confirmed everything, let's mean the cost of shipping domestically, I will come back to you straight away on that one. So please give me just literally 1 week more, and we should know more about it, okay? Wife silence overrated, that's what it is. Okay, I think I ran out of things to show you today. If you at the what's the name? Salute, come by guys, say hello. We will have some demo tables. You can have a go and play the game with us. William Mortacos? Yes, I think we're gonna have to structure all the 3 expansions at the same range. Yeah. Somebody already asked if there will be will there be bundles without the starter sets in it? Not now, and so one of the things we're gonna have for retailers in the future is to have some bundles for you guys as well available, but that's gonna be in the future, maybe wave 2, maybe wave 3. We need to work out something for them as well, for retailers to actually have a good go with this game and push more. Yes and no, but it won't work. Even from point of view of, looking at the kind of green agenda, let's go that way. It's not. It won't. I know you have to scrap it. I know you have to throw it away, but the cost of shipping or parcel to Poland, if you're not like company, it's gonna cost like maybe 20, maybe 25 euro. It's really not worth it. Absolutely not worth it, and it's gonna be small box anyway, so really not worth it. We had some ideas in the past about maybe you're going to be collecting parcels from you or something like that, as long as there is enough plastic to collect it. But I think working with the local gaming stores and running this type of initiative through them, it's much more reasonable. I didn't want to go for the UK Game Expo. I might actually go. For UK Game Expo as well. Then Gen Con is interesting. We're trying to get more space for Gen Con. I'm battling with them a little bit to get a little bit more space. They constantly say no, but maybe something will change and we're going to get a little bit more space in some other area. But as long as we have more space, then it's going to be great. So maybe Gen Con then. I'm hoping for BlizzCon. So yeah. Yeah, the future releases is only retail. It's going to be available in our online store at the MSRP, but in most of the cases you're going to be able to get them through retail. So it's only that pre-orders when we started now, it's went through us with discounted and everything else. There's an evil plan behind all those things. Not evil, but basically plan behind all those things and the reasons why we did the way we did. And maybe someday I will tell you why. But briefly, it's all about having a good start. It's all about having a kind of small snowball built at the beginning of this journey with this IP. We could take another road with slow grow, but that never works the way you want to work. And slow grow this year, it's not the best option because the other big boy massive company, they have the new edition release. So it's like kind of when you look at the big picture, when you work out the calendar and see, okay, our game might fit here and there was no good spot for this game to fit unless we did like massive pre-orders now. So that's what we did. Jarek confirmed as lawful evil. Yes. That's the best, right? I would lose my marbles as well if Blizzard announced anything StarCraft 3. Really. I mean, yeah. I mean, to be honest, anything this IP is gonna be a good call. But wasn't there a news about some Korean company working on StarCraft IPs as well? Because that was my thing, which I heard, what I heard online. I mean, I never ask those things. I have we hold meetings every 2 weeks with Blizzard. I never ask any type of these questions because that's not my business really. So I won't be asking this type of questions. But I had the news from internet like you guys, from Twitter or X, whatever they call it now, about what's new, it's coming. So I had two news. One on Twitter, somebody mentioned about the shooter, and one somebody mentioned that there was like some Korean company also getting access to this IP. So I think the Korean company might work on something like StarCraft, or maybe they're gonna, I don't know, I'm guessing here. Either way, anything from this IP is gonna be blast. It's gonna be blast, so. Yep, you need to get a player base going in order to have people talk about this game. Exactly. So the snowball works very well, in my opinion. It's going to be very, very beneficial, the most important, to the game, and then in the long run to anything like online stores, or basically stores, your local gaming stores. A deal element? I don't think so. you know how it works. Most of the stores, especially in Europe, they sell discounted anyway. So, you know, we might put up like price for $100 something, whatever, and then it's still going to be about 20% discounted globally. So you're probably going to find somewhere for 20% off, or maybe 25 even percent off. Shadowrun. Nobody come back to me about Shadowrun. I did send like 5 emails. Nobody's coming back to me. I gave up. And again, I think it's gonna just appear out of nowhere at some point in the future. That's what I think. But I have to mention something, and it's worth it to mention. And whoever lasts till the end, he will know that. That we are going to be announcing 2 more IPs games, and both going to be tabletop miniatures games. One is... No, I'm not going to be even telling you which genre is, because you will know straight away which games are. But yes, one we're going to be announcing probably Salute, not Salute, Essenspiel, and the other one we'll be announcing hopefully also Essenspiel, if not a little bit after it. I'm not talking about these 2 additional games, by the way. IP, big one, by the way, big one. AAA. Will it be possible to make a siege tank transformable, even if you say it will chip paint from the model? No, it is either. So you have to assemble either option. But there will be token, by the way. So you have like a plastic token, which is the siege tank plastic token, which indicates the status in the game. I didn't want it, really, I didn't want it. I was thinking initially about making something like you can transform, remove the top turret, and then put the other element on top of it. And I said, well, that would be great, but then it's not a toy. It's not a toy. And that will give you A, vibe of the toy, and B, if you paint your model, your paints will chip off. And I don't want to see that one happening in any model. So I would complain. I'll be the first one on the internet. Oh, what you have done? So no. This date will be available soon on the updates. So I don't have that date at the moment with me, but just follow updates. And I think the guys actually, the team for that one, it's quite active, very proactive on updates. Is Archon Studio growing a lot due to these big IPs coming to you? Yeah, I think slowly, yeah. I mean, we are large anyway. I mean, when I look at the numbers and compare to other companies, I would say we're the 3rd company out there. In terms of tabletop miniatures games, we are the 3rd company without having tabletop miniatures game. That's interesting, no? So when you look at ICV2 report, and there's something which is called Dungeons and Lasers, we're selling quite a lot of Dungeons and Lasers in Europe, not so much in USA, because it basically, you know, it is what it is with the product. Every single product is basically kind of market decide whether they like the product or doesn't like the product. So some of the products we sell, a lot of them in Europe, some of them in USA you won't sell it, and vice versa. This is the reason why we have 2 types of tabletop games. No, we have Ameritrash and we have a Euro. So that's what it is. But just joking aside, yeah, when you look at the face value of the company, numbers, and how we're progressing, and our projection for the next couple of years, we are the 3rd one. So obviously the biggest one has got 90 or 80% of market. Second one is the Asmodee, I would say. And in terms of tabletop miniatures, we are the 3rd one. So we took over other companies. Like for the turnover, from turnover point of view, not from the product point of view, because we don't have much tabletop miniatures games, right? So I'm not classifying us for the in the board gaming, because we only have few board games really, and so that's that. And also we have an OEM portion, right? So this is a big one for us as well. So OEM portion is quite large one. Trench Crusade, we make very good cooperation deals. Trench Crusade is a huge one. And we make those models for them. We sell those models, the sales is going through us, and so on. Will Siege Tank have 2 models in one box for Siege mode versus tank? You mentioned 7 spruce. No, that 7 spruce means you can assemble either of them. Hey, if you find a way of modifying, then that's great, magnetizing, that's great. But basically, the box will allow you to assemble either of them, either version. That's what I said. If you do that, then yes. We haven't prepared nothing for magnets, by the way. So model needs to be basically glued, because the way how everything interacts and works together in miniatures, it needs to be that way. When I say that, it's when you glue a model, one of the points of engineering of gluing the model is making sure the shell itself, so the shell of the model is solid. Like, so a good example is that one over there. So for this model, we needed to make sure that you have a connection points. A lot of you're not seeing this because I don't have a camera switched, but in general, we have to make sure that for this model, which is again hollowed only because it's not for the tabletop miniatures games. This is for, you need to make sure that you have connection points everywhere, and not only connection points everywhere. You see that bar over there? It's a reinforcing bar in the middle, allowing pieces to be glued together, and so on, so on, so on. Because it's a massive shell. So now imagine the tank now, and because we have to make solid, it needs to have a kind of close shell around it. So, and when you add pieces, some of those pieces actually became in the shell itself. And I'm guessing many of you know how to do the magic with miniatures. You will be able to do some things with it. Oh, by the way, you don't see that model over there? Try to guess what that model is. Something you haven't seen it. DNL sells better in Germany than in USA. Crazy. I thought the design name for the American market looks more than US fantasy than European fantasy style. You'll be very surprised. Extremely surprised about the sales. So for us, DNL is bread and butter, and probably it's going to be always bread and butter. Bread and butter, I should say. So. RPG systems in Europe, we kind of kicked all the competition from Europe. So WizKids and Reaper Miniatures, they kind of like don't sell anything for RPG systems, and that's why. So at the moment it's still dominated in so those companies actually still dominate in USA, and that's the reason why the sales for Dungeons & Lasers is a little bit low in the United States. But we're getting there. We are getting there slowly, but we're getting there. Have you discussed how local event support work and what we can expect from the competitive stuff? Yes, so the team is working on the competitive stuff. So we call this one organized play. And for the organized play, we had that discussion with a few of the bigger voices in that, like Gunhammer, for instance, at the Adepticon. I had a chat with them, and they had some great ideas how they can help us with growing that organized play. But from our side, there's lots of work we have to do here internally. This means we have to create the basis for this one. We have to create a packages for this one. So this means something a team or a store can actually buy it. I don't know, whatever. We have also a great plan for that. So for store will be it will be for free, but there's something the store needs to do for us. We had other game in the past, we still have it, which is the Masters of the Universe, and every single program we put out there for stores to engage people to play tournaments wasn't working, and we were copying other companies. So I wasn't happy with it. So some things we have to change, and we're going to have a slightly different program with StarCraft, which we think is going to work. So that's that. But we have to do that internally. That takes time, approval time, and we need to convince, third party about it. So yeah, it's happening. It's going to happen. And when? I think we're going to speed up a little bit, because there's now a requirement for some organized play once we ship the boxes out. And then there's wave 1. So I think something along wave 1 before we ship out, or during the shipping of wave 1, and then before we announce wave 2, or sorry, shipping the wave 2, and before we announce wave 3, this is the best spot to actually provide some organized play content. Okay. I will also guess regular Zeratul and other version of Kerrigan. Yes, something like that. That's my personal model. You know how many times we have been asked this question about what about Witcher skirmisher, or even rank and file game, but there is a Witcher, by the way, skirmish game, but it's not doing very well, I think. It's not, because nobody know about this game, so marketing wise it's not there, but there is actually skirmish Witcher game. So it's like with CD Projekt Red, you know how many projects I mess with them? Like, I was always too late. Like, every time when I send an email with some proposal, they say, no, sorry, but somebody else is actually doing it. It's like, from the board game, through card game, through miniatures game, like, constantly I'm late with them. So it seems to be like, the timing and the stars are not aligning to get anything from CD Projekt Red. That's what I think. It works like that. I mean, simulation is not allowing me to get anything. It's not allowing me to get my hands on anything from CD Projekt Red. Any tease? No tease, to be honest. I'm gonna leave anything teasing like I'm gonna leave to my marketing team. So my marketing will be the first one to tease, and then I will show you here as well. Explain a few things and how it plays. I think 6. There is a 6 spruce for that. The Immortal, I think so, but the Immortal's got a more clear plastic spruce. There is something special for Immortal. Witcher skirmish game is in alpha testing right now. Okay, so it's still in alpha, so maybe this is why there is no marketing yet. But I've seen it on Adepticon last year, not this year, last year. What was the company name? Fight Club? What was the company? I forgot the name. They did the Borderlands board game. So, I don't know. They had it like last year. Adepticon last year. And there was quite a lot of miniatures, so I expected this one to be already out there. I'm pretty sure this is 4x5. I'm pretty sure. I mean, if somebody's got the base and can measure it. Monster Fight Club. Oh, that's the one. Monster Fight Club, yes. Have you ever considered a smaller scale miniatures if TG Right IP come along? It's such a niche, It's a really niche. Like, it's something we can do when we just completely run out of ideas. I think it's a niche in tabletop miniatures games. When you just divide this massive pie, you got 32mm scale models. Then you have something crazy, much bigger models, which nobody wants to because there's no terrain for it. And there is a tiny portion of something small. And when we look at an overall scope of it, on a market, you just have to be aligned with what is on the market instead of trying to build the market, because our company, although we might be quite large, we are not in a position to build the market. Okay, we're not going to be able to build the market, so we're not going to be able to create a completely fresh, new kind of, let's go for, I don't know, 16 or 25 or whatever, some other size miniatures. We don't have a power, we don't have a strength to do that. So usually it's just left to the really, really big boys. So this means those two big companies which they have enough distribution power to do that. Maybe in the future, once we okay with distribution, especially for tabletop miniatures games, we will be able to move into different sizes and try to build the market for something. But it doesn't work like that. We're going to be investing a lot of money and then probably end up with canceling the project, which nobody wants. It is available. StarCraft app is fully available to public. There is address to that, and then if you go to our StarCraft-TMC theminiaturesgame.com and then click on the rules, that will take you to the app. So the app is fully available. There will be some updates to the app. Some of the ideas you gave me, guys, is in an app we need something like when I play my game, I want to record my scores or whatever, all those things. So yeah, we will do that. And the backend will be also developed a little bit larger. So if you're going to create an account there and you play with somebody else, we're going to create a small ladder when you will be able to see your games against other player games and then how this person perform in the ladder. And then, every quarter we're going to be resetting the ladder and people are going to be able to start over again. So I want to do that because it's fun. Will the dice simulator? Yes, I'll bring back the dice simulator. I did remove the dice simulator because it required a lot of work, and I was like flying, and I needed to do all the other programming for warehousing, for many things I'll do here. Is also just create some stuff we needed for ourselves, and that was taking my time, and that was more urgent than the dice simulator. But I will bring it back. How about Android version? Maybe yes in the future. At the moment it's a web app. Web app is cool because you can always get on your phone. Yeah. Exactly, you can just download the web app on your phone if you want. Battletech, I don't think so. We can get it. I mean, Battletech is with the company over there. We had one of the partners, it came to me and say, look, we should be looking into making a Battletech similar game in the future or something like that. I was like, yeah, but we have so much things on our plate. We have a game which we're going to be working on kind of mech, but they're going to be large ones. Well, large one. I mean, in a 32mm scale. This means you can use any type of terrain, and we do have amazing terrain as well to use that one. It's called Rampart, and we can just put those Rampart terrain inside the box with the miniatures and have it up there. So yeah. I like that idea. I like the idea that in the future we could make a terrain which is like transparent plastic mineral patches. Although you get them quite a lot on the marine sprue and across basically all the models, so you can always use them for something like that. Just get one base for, I don't know, Hydra and stick them there. So will they be painted StarCraft terrain? Maybe. As you might know, we do a lot of painted terrain on our machines, on our Prismacast process. Prismacast. Even the terrain you find in the boxes, it was designed for Prismacast. But then, because we needed to know how many pre-orders we're going to get, we decided not to or promise anything pre-painted, because we made up, pre-painting for 6-8 months. So if this happens, it's going to be a separate box release in the future with pre-painted terrain. I think game require ramp. So the game requires terrain size 3 and some ramps. That's all I'll say. So we're gonna do what the game requires. Master of Orion next week. No, next AMA, not next week. I might not have the AMA next week. Yes, it's still planned. It's still on our roadmap. It's not for this year though. It's definitely for next year. beginning of next year. Quake is actually moving ahead much faster, so the Quake will be, we did announce Quake, and the Quake will be moving faster than Dishonored. We needed to change the concept for Dishonored, by the way. The original concept for Dishonored, we did play a few times, and we ended up with not liking it totally, so it was just like, okay, let's push this concept for other game in the future, let's redesign it. So the team redesigned it, and team actually proposed this new concept to Bethesda, and they were very happy about it, so yeah. So the way how we want to do terrain for this game is, I'm always dream about the map packs for this game. This means like we are focused at the moment on, let's say, Lost Temple kind of map and everything around that one. So that's going to be this season. The next season we can do, I don't know, some terrain from Marsara. So then when it comes to terrain from Marsara, you will expect it like, you know, a red planet with some industrial elements there. So just think about those things, how we thinking about, yeah. Will there be rules for large games like there are rules? You can just play it. I mean, sure. So again, the rules for the StarCraft are kind of sandboxy. So we say that, you know, 2000 it's just normal standard game, and from 2000 to 3000 is a large scale game. And then if you want to play 5000 game, go for it. It doesn't stop you, because the game mechanic doesn't degrade, even actually slightly improve with the higher units availability. What we haven't provided yet is the cards for it. So we haven't provided mission cards for that for much bigger games. So we only provided for 1000 and 2000 points games. But again, if you go to our app, some people already made some additional missions for much bigger games. And also the app itself, I'm thinking about doing a. So the option for the gameplay option is what I will do. We'll do drafting as well for the map and for missions. So you'll be able to select your mission and then start drafting as you draft normally in the game. So those cards you won't have to carry with you, and that will allow you to actually bring more cards onto even select one of those which people created if you want. So non-official ones, and that's what needed. That is what is needed for that app. Yes, we are actually, I think, yes, we are planning. So just to give you some idea about the organized play, what I was thinking about is, why not make a activation tokens in plastic, and then just dye that plastic into different colors. We had exactly the same approach with Masters of the Universe. So you have mana tokens, and they were made in a metallic, a gold, metallic silver color, and metallic brown color, like bronze color. So you have like first, second, and third prize in that pack. So yes, but they are going to be only available only through that tournament pack. So you might have to kind of participate in tournaments in order to get them, or organize any type of organized play, really, because the tournaments is not always needed. Super excited to get my models. Yeah, man, and we are extremely excited to get this game out. Well, Zeratul came with this separate structure model faction like the other heroes. Yes, in a simple, yes. I'm not gonna be spoiling too much, but yes. We don't have specific prices, but we did mention this one. I think the original release is going to be every 3 months, not every 2 months. I think every 2 months is going to be a little bit too tight on the cash if somebody wants to collect it, and we are not in a business like going crazy. This game does require it. I mean, after initial snowball, which I think we created this one with our, strategy. We want to just carry on with the same excitement, kind of, and get more people into it, and so on, so on, so on. But at the same time, we cannot and we won't overload yourself, like, players or even stores with the amount of products, because I don't know, we have to rush and get $300 every month or $100 every month, whatever. No, that's not the point. So the point is, like, let's make models. Let's focus on the game itself. Okay, let's focus on that one, that the game needs to be a really good one. And the things we planned for this year releases, I believe we can build, like, we have this great snowball. The excitement will go a little bit down after the shipment. Then we're going to be announcing new stuff, and new stuff is going to be available. Excitement will going to grow. And then obviously there's going to be time when we have to shift the meta slightly. And with the next following wave, we have a casters. And that is going to change the meta completely, right? The casters are like support units. They're gonna be really, really, like, wow, they're gonna change a lot. So yeah, that's the kind of approach we want to do. I mean, that's the plan. If plan is going to work out, then great, because for the game purposes it's gonna be amazing. But at the same time, we're not gonna be asking you to throw money constantly at this game. No, I mean, everybody's got other life. Many of you's got different games as well to support it, so we all know how it is. Especially nowadays, when the shit is when the world is going upside down. How long we can expect it between the new factions heroes? New sub-faction is going to be available towards the end of the year, so I would say not that far away. Thank you for the good words. The vision and passion your studio has shown for this IP is truly remarkable. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your comment. Really appreciate that one. It's a lot of dedication, lots of passion here, by the way. So, and we have people coming to us and say they haven't seen for a long time people being, like, internally so excited. I'm assuming, like, in the big companies, the people are also excited, but you cannot see them. So, but my team, the part of designing team, they just scan internet every day. Like, every day they check in what's going on there about StarCraft, what's new video, what's new comments, what people saying on the Reddit, and they always like comment, hey, look, somebody said this, oh, it's amazing, it's great stuff. So yeah, the team is also very, very, very excited. Question about the casters. They will use the same game resources as abilities cards. Yes. So what we don't want to do it, we don't want to create another. And there was one hero the team wanted to put in with some a completely different kind of resource mechanic, and I don't want this. So everything needs to be aligned with the one resource mechanic in the game. And some of those casters will have access, like we have that one already. Some of the casters are able to generate additional resources, or some resources they spend less. But that's the core mechanic in the game, and we're not going to be changing, and also we're not going to be adding additional, like, mana pool. Okay, here's a fun fact, by the way. We had mana pool in the game. There was mana pool in the game, and there was also the current card mechanic. So, and then after some alpha test, and also after play test in Blizzard, we decided to streamline the game, and it was eliminated. So the way it was working, when you activate the unit, you're getting one energy token, and those energy tokens still exist in the game because we just turned them into buff and debuff token. Hello there. So we haven't lost anything, like, in terms of tokens, but we needed to do that, and it was kind of and why we have removed that one, it was a little bit difficult to manage everything. So all of a sudden you have two different kind of resource mechanic in the game. What for? You can combine everything into one. I'm pretty sure yes, in terms of missions. Again, the game is very sandboxy. It's quite easy to create mission for this game, and that's what we want to be available there. And also deployment is very easy to create, so you might expect like kind of completely different rules for every single mission. And again, it's a very sandboxy rules. Will there be any mechanic to spread Zerg infestation on the ground? There is mechanic for that. I mean, there is. The queen, in a box with the queen, you will find the creep token. So you spread infestation, you spread the creep. And yes, and you have a scenario to be able to represent that infestation. Yes, there's a creep token. So you place that token, it's a creep token. So within that token, there's a creep spread. I remember we had also like overload speed token and other things, but some of the things we needed to remove from the game because they were a little bit too powerful. There is already tabletop simulator mode to play if you want to play StarCraft, by the way. So we want to test it out and see what's going on and how it plays. I'm not going to eat the miniatures. Maybe that'd be crazy. When will you have AMA about the campaign rules? I think the campaign rules they are in kind of. The team is going to sit down to them now. We need some time to polish the rules, to finish the rules itself. For the book and what's not, and the team is going to sit down on the campaign rules to go for them. So unfortunately, only one downside for the campaign, it will require app. So you will require app because it's extremely complex campaign. It's kind of the level, I would say, of the board game. So many of you might say, Jesus, you created something crazy. Yes, we did, but it's about the experience you're going to get from the campaign. It's just not as simple as just put some models on the table, let's play a couple of the games, and okay, that's the campaign is finished. No, it's actually a very, very interesting narrative campaign, building in that system, which, keep the people engaged. So that's what we wanted for this game. I think this game deserved this one. Okay, it's 120 pages long campaign book, and it's only like a small portion, but come on, if we're going to do it, we need to do it right? StarCraft Archon model when? I think with the anniversary. But I didn't tell you which anniversary. It might be Archon anniversary, or maybe StarCraft anniversary, or it might be StarCraft Tabletop Miniatures game release anniversary. So definitely at some anniversary. It's difficult to give you now a precise one. Definitely from the 17th, once the pre-orders are finished, we're going to start shipping out. It's now just a matter of how fast this parcel will arrive to you. The global situation at the moment is such that the ships don't have fuel to ship. Planes don't have a fuel to fly, so it is interesting time. We're really hoping that, as they're promising, within 2 weeks' time, the dust should settle, and everything should be going back to as it was. But I'm expecting some shipping delays, like not from us, but basically getting container, or we're gonna have to be queuing for container, that's for sure. Or I don't know, even if you want to queue for the plane, it's the same story. But you can get the faction dice soon. They're going to be available soon, by the way. You probably have seen them on the videos. We've made them, we've done them, but we were not ready to actually have them for pre-order. So again, there was no packaging design. We needed to take this one through the licensor first. They have to like it, we have to like it, and so on. There was some correction to the dice as well. So no, it was at the moment was basically postponed till next release cycle. Actually, no, the USA and Australia and probably Canada, this country is going to be first one to ship out because it's going to be taking a little bit longer to get the boxes, and we want everybody to enjoy at the same time. So, sorry for prioritizing. We never prioritize shipping, but this time we're going to have to do it. As the process will take from our factory to 3PL, and then 3PL will distribute across the USA to avoid any tariffs and any additional payments on you guys. I think Arc Raiders IP is a good for type of board game, and board game which is more oriented about campaign play. Yeah. But not for them. I don't think miniatures game will be a good one. There's no enough content for miniatures game, right? Like, how many release cycles you can have? 5, 6, and that will be all. How often do you plan FAQ and or balance patches? At the moment, I believe we're going to be looking at every 2 months, 3 months. At the moment, there's not that many questions. I think there is none. There's one thing we need to correct it, I think, which one of the guys told me it's coming back on Discord. It's not like it needs to be corrected. We just need to clarify, and that's what we're going to do because the book is not yet printed, so we can do that. But then every 3 months, I think. And balance patches, the same story. Balance patches is only point-wise, so we don't plan to do any major text like changes on the cards unless there is something which is completely breaking the game and we have to do that, which will gonna be disaster, which gonna be kind of personal disaster because that wasn't the plan. But you know, it's a game, it might happen. Might be. I mean, we had so many playtesters and so many things we change and fix on those cards that I don't think is gonna be causing any problems. But what might cause the problems is the future releases. When the future releases are out, they might be a little bit combining or doing some type of combos with the other releases that might cause a little bit of problem. But in general, I'm not expecting any huge thing. Are the StarCraft collection boxes from your collection borrowed from Blizzard? These ones. No, they're actually coming from a friend of mine from Konstantinos. I wasn't lucky enough. No, I didn't have the money to actually buy any of those things in the past when they were available. They're not available anymore. But a friend of mine, also huge fan of StarCraft, he basically sent me those. Say, look, have them there because they deserve to be on a shelf. So it's great to have friends who like StarCraft, like I do. I cannot confirm this, so the question is about the Terran ghosts as a unit. I cannot confirm this one. I know Hero Nova because we did announce that one is coming. So I'm assuming with the release of Nova, we will need to have maybe ghosts in the future. Yes, so I can tell you right now that Hunter Killers or War Pigs will have its own miniatures. I think that's what it is. It's a part of the release cycle to have them like individual models, as they are so different to the core model. So yes. Would you do a Heroes video with Jan Błachowicz? There was a UFC embedded video before the PPV. He had it. Really? I need to see that. We had the video with him actually with Heroes Might and Magic when he collect the box. He was like going, specially driving just to UPS for that box to collect. Probably he just told them give me the box, and they gave him the box. But there was him driving across the town with that box on a passenger seat, and he was recording that he's actually getting it. So yeah, but I want to see that, by the way. My team wasn't aware about that, and my team is also like, so I can tell you something about the team and about the Archon, which is not the secret because I've been mentioning this one many times. When we go for some projects out there, right, some IPs, we're kind of only going for the projects which I knew we have like, you know, passion and really, really excitement for this project to do it, because otherwise it's just gonna be yet another IP game. We cannot have that one. So my team, the team which was made for Heroes, they're hardcore fans of Heroes. They're hardcore fans, so they kind of knew what to design, how to make that game for themselves, actually. So it's maybe not 100% the best board game, but it's definitely 100% representation of the video game on the tabletop, which was the best idea and the best approach we could do it with that game, you know. Because I think the fans of the video game, if we make just the board game, they wouldn't like it. They wouldn't like it. And yeah, and there was many of video game fans which wanted actually physical product instead of video game, and that's what we did. Yes, that's definitely yes. At some point, but yes. Okay, I think I'm gonna be wrapping up today. It's already. Did we just break 2 hours again? Or 1 hour? No, 2 hours. Wow, a little bit too long. I'm losing my voice. Sorry for fire up again, because my fuse broke twice during the stream. I will blame Shimon. Usually when Shimon is here, he just call me down, and we just move on to the next things, and you know. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching us. Stay tuned for more news about all the games we have in the portfolio. Next stream is gonna be probably just dedicated to StarCraft, or maybe we will do normal one. But we'll see. I need to see how much materials I will have. And yeah, I hope we will have better news next time. Let's hope the global situation will just calm down completely, and we're just gonna be like everybody else. We just want to go back to normal business, and so on. Thank you, and I will see you in a couple of weeks' time. And take care.